Hello, wonderful first graders. This is Miss Donahue. I'm going to go over day 16's activities in your packet. This is just a reminder that you can use your teacher's office hours in order to help answer any questions that you may have after this video or questions that you may have as you're completing day 16's activities. The morning office hours are 9:15 to 10:15. And the afternoon office hours are 1:15 to 2:15. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is what it looks like on your packet. It's going to be this section right here. So for math, we have a new topic that we are starting today, and it is data. So data, you're going to find it, the activities in your Volume 1 student workbook, along with daily tasks, problems, and workbook pages that will also be linked in to the packet. So what is data? Data is a collection of information gathered by observations and questions. We can organize data with charts and graphs and analyze, which means to look carefully at our data, in order to answer questions that go with it. So today's activity, we're going to collect data and create a tally chart to organize our data. We will then use a tally chart to help us analyze and answer a few questions to go with it. All right, so activity 1. It says to ask your family members at home or over the phone, which means you can call your family members as well who do not live with you and ask them these questions. Which is your favorite season? Summer, fall, or winter? And where they like to visit most? The beach, mountains, or national parks? You're going to use these answers to make two tally charts in your math notebook. Your math journal. So here's what your tally charts could look like. So before you call your family members or go around your house and ask your family members these questions, you can set up the tally chart like this. So for favorite season, you'd have your 3 options: summer, fall, and winter. And as you go around to all the members in your family, you can have this with you, and then you could just make your tally marks once they have answered your question. And then the other one is favorite place to visit. And then you have your beach, mountains, and national parks. And as you ask your family members again, which of these 3 options is their favorite, you just make your tally marks. So this is just an example of how you can set up your tally chart. And then here's an example of how you make your tally marks as well. So after you have made your tally charts, then you're going to go to page 6 in your packet. It asks you to count the total number of votes for each survey category. And then it wants you to copy and complete the sentences below in your journal. So if I looked at my tally chart of favorite season, I would notice that 5 people like summer, 2 people like fall, and 3 people like winter. And then if I look at my favorite place to visit tally chart, I would notice that 9 people like the beach and 4 people like the mountains. No one liked going to national parks. So then here's an example of how you would fill out the sentences that were provided in your packets. More people like, so if I'm looking at my favorite season tally chart, more people like summer than they like fall. Fewer people like to visit the national parks than they like to visit the beach. So you're using your tally charts from both favorite season and favorite place to visit in order to fill in these sentences into your math journal. So again, this is just an example. Your Telly chart answers are going to be, the data that you collect is going to be different from what I have here. And again, you can go around and ask everyone who you live with in order to collect your data, and you can also call relatives that you don't live with, or even friends. Here are some optional math activities that you can do after, so you can complete the solve and share task in lesson 6-1 that's in your math notebook. And then also you can complete pages 254 to 256 in your notebook, in your workbook. And you can also go into Dreambox or Edgenuity for 15 minutes. All right, so for reading, we're going to start a new story today. It is called Tom and the Egg, and you'll find that story on page 16. So you can go on, use this link, and there will be a teacher reading you this story so you can follow along in your packet. So today, the first activity is you're going to listen to the story, Tom and the Egg, and then you're going to talk about the characters and the setting, and if there are any similarities between Tom and the Egg and Mongo's migration. So you're first talking about this. You can talk about this with your mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncle, or even a sister or brother that you have at your house. And again, this link that is provided, there is a teacher reading you this story. All right, so after, you are going to write and draw about the characters and setting in the story. You'll find this on page 17. So there are two questions here that you're answering. Who are some of the characters in the story? Who is the main character? I have provided here for you the sentence starters. So it's important that maybe you pause this video and you copy down the sentence starters in order to help you get started with answering these questions. It's very important that we are practicing answering these questions in a complete sentence. So here are the sentence starters for the first question. Some of the characters in the story are, and you fill that in. Then the other sentence starter is going to be, the main character is blank, and you fill that in as well. The second question asks, what is the setting of the story? And the sentence starter for this is going to be, the setting of the story is blank. Again, you should, if you need to, pause the video at this time in order to write down these sentence starters. Word work for today, you are going to be doing a new cycle. It's going to be cycle 19. This video is a great video that goes over and it teaches you the new skill that you're going to be working on over the next couple of days. So once you have watched the video, your activity is called Color It. This is where you're going to write each word from your cycle 19 word list, which is on page 20. You're going to use a colored pencil or marker to trace the AR or OR in each word. And then you're going to read your words out loud. So I have on the next slide here, this is an example of how you can organize your thinking in your notebooks. So we've been really working on organizing our thinking using tree maps. So this is an example of the Bossy R tree map. So over here, you've got AR, and over here, you've got OR. So this is gonna help you maybe sort out these words. So I have under AR, I have the word shark, park, and barn. And then I have highlighted the ARs in all of those words. Over here, I have the word fort, port, born. and I have highlighted the OR in those words as well. So again, you don't have to make a tree map. This is just an option because we love to do lots of thinking maps at school, but you are doing this in your notebook, and after you have written down all of your cycle 19 words, you're going back and finding the AR or OR in the words with a crayon, colored pencil, or a marker. All right, so for social studies, your topic is giving money. Many people find when preparing a budget that they'd like to include charitable giving in their spending plan. So your activity for today is to talk with an adult about charitable organizations that helps in Charlotte and others that help in other parts of the world. Which do you like the most? So I have here some examples of some charitable organizations in Charlotte. So we have the Ronald McDonald House, we have Charlotte Firefighters Association, we have the American Red Cross, Smithfield PTA is one, Girls on the Run. We also have Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. So after you have talked with your parents about some charitable organizations and which ones you find most interesting, your next activity is to collect 3 containers. It could be boxes, envelopes, anything. And you're going to decorate them and label them. So one is going to say save, the other one's going to say spend, and the final one is going to say give. And what you're going to do is over time, you're going to use your own money to and put them in either the box or the envelope. So let's say you're trying to save your money for a cool toy at Target. You could put your money in the save envelope. Let's say that you want to spend your money on a new Xbox game. So you'll put that money in the spend section. Or let's say that you want to give some money to one of the charities that you've talked about with your parents. You can put your money in that envelope. If you don't have boxes or envelopes at home, here's another option that you could do. You could create a tree map and list things that you would like to save money for, things that you would like to spend your money on, or things that you would like to give your money to. And here's an example of what your tree map could look like. So again, this is just another option if you don't have any of the materials suggested above. And then there is also an enrichment activity with the video as Kid President and Glad to Give You presents How Good Spreads. And of course, Kid President, he's a really funny, cool kid. And the link will be provided in this YouTube video. All right, and then you'll finish the day with specials. Remember that after each activity that you do, make sure you're taking a brain break, you're getting your mind and body rested and moving, and then moving on. If you have any questions, please use your teacher's office hours. We are all happy to help you and here to help you. I hope you guys have a great day with day 16.